YouTube, what's happening? Devin the Dude, Big Felon, checking in, man. Y'all know the channel, Felon with Firearms. And today, we're here to discuss the process required for the state of Alabama for y'all to get y'all gun rights back. I've been getting this request. I'm going to say this every time. I've been getting a lot of requests for it, man. Every state I get a lot of requests for, but so, like I said, we're here to tackle Alabama right now, so let's jump right into it. Let's see what we got here. Alabama, firearms. A person convicted in any jurisdiction of committing a crime of violence may not own, possess, or exercise control over a pistol, meaning a firearm with a barrel of less than 12 inches in length. See Alabama Code 13A-11-71, 13A-11-72. Restoration by pardon, unless restoration specifically withheld. Okay, so it says here restoration by pardon. So let's get down here to this authority of the pardon policies and practice. Authority in Alabama. Authority in Alabama was revised in 1939 by the legislature, who was granted the pardon power by an amendment to the state constitution. It created the Board of Pardon and Paroles to exercise the power, which means that which extends to all offenses except for treason and impeachment. So, just like in the other states, the governor has the power, but his recommendation is based on the Board of Pardon and Paroles. So, here we go right here, basically what I just said. The governor retains reprieve and commuted authority in capital cases. The board administration and procedures is governed by the Alabama Code 152220 through 152240. Let's talk about eligibility. Go down a little further. You're eligible to file for a pardon once completion of your sentence or completion of at least 3 years of permanent parole, unless the pardon is sought on grounds of innocence and the judge or district attorney approve in writing. Persons convicted of a felony or certain other offenses involving danger to the person must submit to the taking of a DNA sample as a mandatory condition of the pardon. Alabama Code 36-18-25F. Board accepts applications from people with federal convictions. Let me stop that. I'm going to highlight that. The board accepts applications from people with federal convictions and people convicted in other states' jurisdiction residing in a state. Hold on, let me reread that. The board accepts applications from people with federal convictions and people convicted in other states' jurisdiction residing in the state. So if you're in the state of Alabama and you got a conviction from another jurisdiction, from another state, you can file a pardon in Alabama. They accept other state jurisdictions. The board has the authority to restore citizenship and political rights of persons with federal convictions. Do y'all see that? So don't tell me otherwise. This is the law here. The board has authority to restore citizenship and political rights of persons with federal convictions, as against contention that a pardon by president was essential to restore the lost rights. So Alabama, if you got a federal conviction, you can also apply for this pardon and potentially get it removed and get your rights restored. The effects. A pardon does not wipe out the historical fact of the conviction. It involves forgiveness and not forgetfulness. There's the code. A state pardon does not relieve civil and political disabilities unless specifically expressed in the pardon. A person who has forfeited his office as a result of a felony conviction is not restored to the office by a pardon. A pardon that restores to an individual all civil rights and political privileges necessarily nullifies all legal punishment for the offense. In other words, if the conviction incorporates certain civil and political disqualifications, then a pardon that specifically revives all civil and political rights must certainly remove any and all legal incapabilities, including handgun privileges. The board may grant a full pardon which restores all right, or it may grant a pardon with restrictions. Firearm privileges, sex offender registration, habitual offender status. Alright, so let's take a look at this pardon. As you can see, the link is here. Click on that link. Alright, here's the application for your voting rights, the application for the pardon, the remission of fines or forfeiture. Let's go down. Let's see if they got any facts. To see frequently asked questions regarding pardons, click here. Let's see what we got here. Before we get into this pardon application. Am I eligible to restore my voting rights? If you lost voting rights due to a felony conviction, you may be eligible to restore them if you meet the following criteria. I ain't going through all that. Does Alabama accept applicants for pardons with restoration of civil and political rights for individuals with federal convictions or conviction from another state? Yes, if the sentence is complete. A pardon with restoration of civil and political rights may be granted to applicants who reside in Alabama. If the applicant resides in another state, they must apply in the state of residency. Note: a pardon from Alabama on a federal case is only good in Alabama. Okay. If the board grants a pardon, does it restore all my rights? You guys can go through that on your own time. I'm going to go on over to this pardon application. And let's see what the requirements or what type of information that they ask for on this application, so I can get this uploaded for you guys. And as you can see, it was revised October 15, 2020. Read and follow the attached instructions for applying for a pardon before submitting this application. Alright, so general information. They want your name at the time of your conviction, your current address, city, state, zip code, telephone number, email address, race, sex, date of birth, social security number, ASI number. They want to know if your conviction was state or federal, the county of convictions, year of conviction. Attach a complete list of convictions for which a pardon is requested. Is pardon based on claim of innocence? Is this applicant your first applicant? If no, date the last application. If I have read the instructions for applying for a pardon, I agree to the terms and conditions stated in the document, including the requirement for submitting a waiver of liability and authority release of information form, signature date. Here's the instructions. So you got to complete the pardon application form and complete the waiver of liability and authority for release of information form. These forms must be submitted to the Alabama Bureau of Pardon and Paroles in the address listed below. Let me take this for y'all so I can put this into the description. No pardon investigation will be completed except at the request of a person whose conviction is at issue. To be considered for a pardon, the applicant must have either completed his sentence or have successfully served at least 3 years on parole for the sentence which is seeking the pardon. Any application submitted within 2 years of the applicant's last application will be subject to rejection. Alright, pretty simple, people. I'm gonna get this information up there, loaded up there for y'all to take a look at this. Please, man, don't procrastinate. Get it done, man. You know what I'm saying? Get it done and do me a favor, man. Share this information to a friend, man. Hit the share button. You know, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram, share it everywhere, man, because it's more than just us who need this information, man. Until next time, Big Felon checking out, man.